When most of us hear the word pit bull, we imagine a very aggressive dog. We imagine a biting dog, we imagine just yelping, barking, trying to bite your dog. This is what most people have an image of, and this certain kind of breed, the pit bull. Most of it is partly due for the stereotypes that are portrayed in the media about these dogs, and the news articles, and all the violent killings or bitings that are found in the news, in newspapers, magazines, and many other places. We need to go more in depth into this, because this way we can find out if truly the pit bull is an aggressive dog by nature, or if we as owners and as humans have to do something to do with the behavior of this dog. Do we really have to do with the violence, or are they just naturally born this way? The first way I'm going to do this is by looking at the stereotypes. Most stereotypes come from the media, and they use it in different ways to partly blame the dog, or partly or entirely blame the dog, never the owner. Secondly, I'm going to go into the behavior part, which is, do we have something to do with the way we raise our dogs and change their behavior, or are they simply this kind of violent breed? Lastly, I'm going to go into the way that these dogs, specifically pit bulls, help the community and help other people out. First of all, the stereotypes. The way media uses them is to target this dog as aggressive, as violent, as very dangerous. One example was a news article that came out of a dog that bit a child when he was left home alone. This dog had a history of biting people before, and so the owner decided to chain it up and leave it in the basement. No social contact, no dog, other social contact. So one day the child is left alone at home by the parent. And this news article by Fort Tom and Paul Joel explains the killing of the 7-year-old boy here in Minneapolis, and this was published in 2007. They explained that when the child went downstairs, the dog bit him, not having that social contact with humans, thinking he was a stranger, and something that made the dog respond. So the dad got home, and he found this child and tried taking the child away, but the dog also wanted to attack him, and so he had no other choice but to shoot him. The article keeps on going and saying that this was a male dog, a pit bull specifically, and very violent and had a past history of violence. It never goes into detail about what the owner did wrong or why this dog may have turned out this way. Later on, some people again went over this news article, and many commented on the way that this pit bull was chained up in a basement with no social contact, absolutely no social contact with other dogs or humans. And so the owner never really had this communication with the dog and left it to be all alone. One person commented on this article saying that they were so scared they never wanted to go over to the person's house. And this way, this stereotype just lets others know that this dog, the certain breed, pit bulls, are very aggressive and do not get close to them because they will be violent. And that is really wrong, because media uses this to go against the breed pit bull and helping ban other states from it. Second of all, I wanted to also go into the behavioral details about it. An owner, does he have to do with the way the pit bull is actually behaving, or does he have to do with any of it, or is the pit bull simply just violent? A study done by Marin Elvia, faculty of veterinary medicine at the University of Padua, actually did a research on this called Quality of Life of the Pet Dog, Influence of the Owner and Dog's Characteristics, which she did in 2007. Here she explained how the owner actually has to do with the dog and how the dog is raised. This study, Quality of Life of the Pet, actually goes into detail about if the owner has the dog socialized not only by himself but also with other dogs and other humans, that this dog is going to turn out right. Lastly, I wanted also to emphasize on the part of this dog, the pit bull, helping out the community. In one article published by a dog rescuer called Natalie Kent, she named this article Dog Rescue Agency Bullish on Pit Bulls, and it was posted on 2012. She explained here how she rescued many dogs that had been in past lives in violent situations. They went through behavioral education and either were adopted and found many good family homes and never had any history of violence, or were used as health dogs, as in going to hospitals and helping children out or helping elderly people to feel better. And so this way we can just figure out that stereotypes are really not we should be careful with stereotypes about this certain pit bull, because of the study that Marinella Lieta did. Actually, it shows that the pit bull is not aggressive by nature, but rather is how the owner raises it. So the pit bull is not the only animal that will be violent, but others can also be that way, and we need to be careful with these stereotypes and naming this certain dog that way.